Alright, time to see what kinds of questions people are asking. When's the next episode coming out? Fuck it! Fuck it! Just fuck it! Hey guys, wow. Gonna take a drink of coffee for a second. Okay, so, holy crap, I did not expect to get, as many questions as I did. As of this point, the video, the Ask Me Questions video has, like, over 200 comments, so, I do apologize. I thought this was gonna be, like, 30 of them or something, so, what I've decided to do is I'm gonna break this up a little bit. I'm gonna make, like, a series of, Q&A videos. This one specifically is going to be, you'll see in the title of the video, this is going to be questions specifically related to my videos. So any questions you have regarding my Zelda abridged parodies, this is the video to watch. So if that's not what you're interested in, like, maybe like the next day or a couple days afterwards, whenever I have time to record this, I'll do a video about, questions, like personal questions, like what's your favorite color and shit. And then maybe the day after that, I'll make a video involving silly questions, or, because I got a lot of those. Maybe I'll make an entire video just dedicated to, like, the brony questions. So people who are interested in that, can watch that, and the people who aren't interested don't have to watch that. So just to divide it up for anyone who's interested, that's what I'm going to try to do. So, okay, let's do this then. First video, questions about my series. Hello, I'm new to this channel. So, what do you like to do in your videos? It never occurred to me that, in making a secondary account, that people might actually find this channel first. So for anybody who's actually discovered this channel first and thinks this is what my main stuff, you are in the wrong place. This is my secondary account that I basically created as a dumping ground for all of the terrible, stupid ideas that I have that I do not feel are worthy of my regular account. Or if I want to do, like, a Q&A like this, or pretty much anything that wouldn't go on the main channel. What I do make is Legend of Zelda abridged parodies, and you can go to my Xanauzumaki account, and I'll put a link where my finger is, I guess. Is that on screen? I can't see myself. But I'll put a link to my Xanauzumaki account. I make Zelda abridged parodies. Go check it out. See if you like them. That's the channel where I actually put videos with some degree of effort. So there you go. If you were to abridge something other than The Legend of Zelda, what would it be, and why? I've always had this desire to make a Death Note super abridged. And I don't mean like a one-shot. I don't mean like, and I don't want to dedicate an entire series to that fucking show, but, basically what I want to do is I want to condense the entirety of the show into, like, a 10 to 20 minute video. Just somewhere within that window of time. I just want to condense it all. And I don't know how I do it. I don't have any jokes thought out for it, but aside from Zelda, I haven't really thought of abridging anything else, but that's pretty much it. So Death Note super abridged. What is your favorite voice to do? Get them out! Get them out! I can feel them swarming around inside my skull. Just like butterflies. Pretty colorful butterflies. Blue ones, green ones, yellow and red, the color of blood. Warm, tasty blood. Everyone's always staring at me. Why do they stare? Oh my god, someone turned the world upside down. I'm a little bunny rabbit. I never wanted to be an evil overlord. I just wanted to be a dancer. I hope that answers your question. Which series do you consider your best? Majora's Mask, no question. That is not even a contest. I think that has more to do with, like, the quality of the videos themselves, because, like, Twilight Princess, I had no idea what the fuck I was doing, when I made that. I had no idea how to edit videos. I had never even opened Windows Movie Maker, so I didn't know what I was doing, and I had never done anything like it, so, plus there's a lot of other things I dislike about my Twilight Princess series, but I'll get to that in a, later question. Ocarina of Time is just sort of like, I did upgrade, when I started Ocarina of Time, I had upgraded to Adobe Premiere, and, but I still didn't really know how to use it, so I didn't really make full use of the software. Majora's Mask was pretty much like, okay, I have this software, I'm going to take full advantage of this, and I just think it's better across the board in terms of, I think the jokes are better, the delivery is better, my acting is significantly better. I guess, like, whatever I'm currently doing, to me, is whatever my favorite whatever I consider my favorite video would probably be the most recent thing I'm working on. That being said, there is some stuff I've made back in the day that I still think is kind of funny. But again, I will answer that in a later question. What are the many things you regret making in your abridged series so far? Pretty much the entirety of Twilight Princess. Except for the final 2 episodes. Except for the Zonda episode and the finale, but everything else before that, I very much regret. Don't get the sense that I'm not like, it's like, I'm ashamed, hide it, I'm not like, don't show it, don't look at it, but, because I understand that, like, everyone has to start somewhere, you gotta make crappy videos before you can make good videos, and, I understand that I had never, when I made the first episode, I had never even used Windows Movie Maker ever. Like, I didn't even know how to edit. I had no idea how to edit videos. So, understandably, yeah, my first attempt at making videos was going to be pretty lousy. And I think the Twilight Princess series was necessary. I think I had to make those videos before, so otherwise Ocarina of Time wouldn't have turned out the way it did. Whether you think Ocarina of Time is actually good or not, I guess is up to you. But I think it's better than it would have been if that was like my first attempt. If Ocarina was my first attempt, it would have been much worse than it turned out, so it was necessary. But, as for what I didn't like about it, I mean, there's a number of things. Mayor Bo specifically is one thing I've come to really fucking hate about my Twilight Princess series. Mostly because he's just like Old Man Herbert with a Homer Simpson voice. And again, there's nothing wrong. I mean, characters like Old Man Herbert can be funny. And I like some of the innuendo wordplay, I guess, is okay, but it really just boils down to, it's like, I'm a pedophile. It's funny because I'm a gay pedophile. Like, and that, I already made that joke about myself in the introduction video to this channel, but, yeah, basically, it's just, haha, he's molesting Link. It's hilarious. Same thing with the constant gay jokes and everyone wanting to have sex with Link. I mean, I feel like that was my fallback humor, was like gay jokes. Like when I didn't have anything, like when I had to resort to like reaching to the bottom of the fucking barrel, or I had to pull something out of my ass because I didn't know what I was doing, or I couldn't think of a better joke. That's where I went to, and I don't know why. I don't fucking know. I wish I had done something. There were a lot of things I just didn't like. There was me constantly tearing into the story of Twilight Princess. And I think I did that way too much, to the point where people started asking if do you hate Twilight Princess or something? And it's like, no, I don't hate Twilight Princess. I just didn't know how to write jokes. Rather than make jokes about the characters and what was going on, or reasonably parody the game. What am I trying to say? I'm sort of getting off track. Well, here's the thing. Basically, what I would do is I would find some aspect of the story that seemed kind of weird, and then I'd overanalyze the fuck out of it to the point where, I would overanalyze it and, talk about how silly it was and write a joke about how silly it was, but I wouldn't really research the joke. I wouldn't go to Zelda Wiki or something to check to see if my criticisms were correct, or if there was, a line of dialogue that answers those questions. So I'd just be like, that story device is fucking stupid, and I wouldn't even check check to see if it was correct. I would just kind of do it because I didn't know how to write. And, I still don't know how to write, but very well, but I've gotten better. So it was just there was a lot of inexperience, so I didn't know what I was doing, and it shows. Do you plan on making use of your Adobe Flash software? Not really right now. I don't have any plans. I'm not ruling anything out though. If I can find a joke or something, or if I come up with if I come up with some kind of joke or something, maybe I'll do something for the finale. Episode 8, no. I've written most of that, and that's not going to involve any animation. To be honest, I haven't really felt motivated, in the visual arts department lately. I haven't really felt motivated to draw stuff. And so, so animating, understandably, so if I'm not really feeling like drawing anything lately, trying to do drawing after drawing and, you know, create multiple frames worth of drawings would be a little bit much for me. You know, aside from the shipping is dangerous video, which was fun to make, but, you know, yeah. I guess, like, you won't be seeing any scenes. Don't expect any scenes where, don't expect any animation, but if I make it, then, but if I come up with something, yeah, and I feel like it's worth animating all those frames, then yeah, I'll do it. But it's time-consuming, and I'm not really gonna, you know, we'll see. Who knows? I guess that's the answer. Who knows? Why hasn't Saria come after Link for leaving her behind? I was gonna make a, I think I did some update video on this channel a while back about some skit. I called it the Link Focus skit. I dubbed it that for some reason, and it was gonna be, I basically canceled this video. I'm not gonna make it, mostly because, I just got bored of the idea. Like, I wrote it a while back, and I came back to it a few months. I came back to, like, I had written down, like, some stuff in a notebook, and I realized that I hated half the script. Like, there was one half of it was fine, and then the other half, which was, like, the first 3 minutes of the video, was terrible. So I ended up canceling it, because I didn't want to... I just got bored of the idea, so I just didn't do it again. What was it? I didn't do it again. Sorry, I ramble a lot when I'm unscripted. I lost my train of thought. But that video was supposed to answer that question, though. Like, the punchline of that video was supposed to answer the question, why hasn't Saria come after Link? And since I'm not releasing the video anyways, I'm just going to spoil the joke right now. And it's not really much of a joke, it's just more of an explanation. But what was going to happen is... there's a point where Link is talking to in the skit, Link was gonna talk to the Happy Mask Salesman, and, Link was gonna, like, basically Link realized that, why am I fucking doing these things for you? Why do I need to get your mask? Fuck it. I have the Ocarina of Time. I can relive the same 3 days over again and fuck with anybody I want to. I could, like, step on anyone's foot and go back in time, and there's no fucking consequences. I can do whatever the hell I want. Fuck you, Mask Salesman, you know, that's basically what he said. And, and then Mask Salesman was like, okay, so, you wanna, I see how it's gonna be. You know, he's like, he gives him, like, okay then. Well, you know, like, because the only thing Salesman can really do, you know, he needs Link to do the... So he's not going to kill Link, because he needs Link to get the mask back, so the idea was that... And then it's like, well, I guess I'll just have to, I don't remember what he says. He says something like, I guess I'll... Well, that's not for me to decide. I'll just leave it to her. And it's like, who the heck... What do you mean, her? And he hears, like, a distant yell, and it's like, Link, I want to feel you! Or something like that. And it's like, oh god, it's Saria. The joke is that, like, the Mask Salesman with his omnipotent power, like, his main thing is that he can control whether or not Link is able to leave. But beyond that, he doesn't have that much power, I guess. It made a lot more sense when I thought of it at the time. But basically, he controls who enters and who leaves, and he knew Saria would be a hindrance to the mission, that Saria would just get in the way, but so he was keeping her out. He was keeping Saria from getting inside, or following Link into the portal. Like, she had been stalking him since you know, Link left the Kokiri Forest, and so this is very boring. I'm sorry. I thought this went on a lot longer than I thought. I'll try to wrap it up. So basically, yeah, he was keeping Saria out, so she wouldn't interfere with the mission. But it's like, well, if you're not gonna work for me, then I guess my job is done. And I'll just, like, he's like, fine. You don't wanna do my mission? I'll just let her in. You know, so, and, you know, no amount of time traveling could protect him from Saria, or at least that's what... God damn it, this made a lot more sense when I came up with it at the time. He was basically gonna blackmail Link into, it's like, okay, you can choose to disobey me, but if you do, I'll release Saria. I'll release the fucking rabid fangirl, and, you're not gonna have so much fun running around in Termina anymore. That was it. So that's the explanation I came up with. I don't know if that's since I never made the video, I guess that's just my own personal headcanon of the events. What is my series of... Hey! It's official! It's canon! That's the explanation. Which characters are you most proud of? Okay, Zant, Douchebag Link, and Navi. I don't know why I like Zant so much. He's just funny to me. He's just a funny guy. I just had way too much fun I had way too much fun doing his lines. I mean, I still get messages from people who want me to bring him back, or who want me to like do something with him, like who want me to like. I still get comments and messages like it's like do something with Zant. It's like I feel like his role is done, but you know I had fun doing the voice. It's a shame I don't do it anymore. But yeah, I don't have any more ideas for him. But I am happy with what I did come up with. Episode 15 is still one of my favorite episodes. It's one of the few episodes of Twilight Princess I actually still kind of like. So I thought it was, I don't know. I can't explain why I like him. He's just a funny guy. He's got funny lines, and I had fun voicing him. It never gets old. Douchebag Link, because I thought I would. I just like douchebag characters. I liked. I don't know. I've gotten to the point. I guess because I've gotten to the point where with Douchebag Link, where I could pretty much have him say anything. Like, what am I? No, that's not what I was. Sorry, let me rephrase that. He's gotten really easy to write for. Like, here's the thing. After Ocarina of Time, I thought I would have. I didn't want to initially do Majora's Mask because I didn't think I would have any material for Link at all. But turns out I had plenty. I had plenty of ideas. In fact, I think Link's even funnier in Majora's Mask, a lot funnier than he was in Ocarina of Time. Personally, I've had a lot more fun writing his dialogue, and I feel like I've gotten to the point where he's way too easy to write for. Like, really, all I have to do is, like, character A says something to him, and then all Link does is, all I have to do is, like, okay, what is the most insensitive, douchey, mean-spirited thing Link could say in response to this guy? That's it. That's the mentality, and so I guess the jokes just write themselves. And then Navi, because, I guess I'm happy people didn't find her annoying. Some people, I think, did, but it wasn't the vast majority, so I'm proud of that. I'm proud of the fact that Navi's character didn't piss people off. I thought it was gonna... Because, like, when you're writing, obnoxious characters, when you're writing characters that are... Like, when you're doing a character like that, they're supposed to be obnoxious to the viewer, but not obnoxious... Sorry, I got that backwards. They're supposed to be obnoxious to, like, the characters in whatever it is you're in the show itself, but not the audience. Like, Link's supposed to be annoyed by Navi. The other characters are supposed to be annoyed by Navi, but the audience isn't supposed to be annoyed. They're supposed to find her funny. You know, there's like a fine line between Pinkie Pie and Jar Jar Binks, you know, or some people would say Pinkie Pie is equally as annoying as Jar Jar Binks. I guess that's a matter of personal preference, but... So, I guess I'm happy for the most part that people didn't find her annoying. So, yay me. That's about it. So, Link because he's easy to... So yeah, in summary, Link because he's easy to write for, Zant because he's just fucking awesome and I don't know why, and Navi because... I'm glad people don't hate her. So that's it. Have you ever considered YouTube as a job? Yes, but I don't want to do that right now. And the reasoning for that is, I use a lot of, here's the thing, right now, I know video game footage is usually safe in terms of copyright. No one cares if you use video game footage. The problem is that's not the only thing I use in my videos. You know, very often, I've used music from ZREO, or Zelda Reorchestrated. I've used, you know, the Kitan 999, Song of Storms, as my intro to Ocarina of Time. I used the Unforgotten Realms theme as my intro to Twilight Princess, and every once in a while, you know, so I use stuff that other people have made in my videos, and it wouldn't feel right for me to profit from that. You know, I mean, the majority of what I do in my videos, aside from the visual component and the music and stuff, most of the music, sometimes I'll use my piano, but most of the time it's music that other people have, made. You know, like, there are exceptions, like with Zant's Domain, you know, I made that song, and then there's the episode 6 of Majora's Mask with the different band members, and I kind of did a musical thingy with that. But yeah, I don't know. I just use a lot of stuff from multiple sources, and I wouldn't feel right if I made money from that. Down the road, I'd like to. I'd like to make money making videos, but not on this. Not from these parodies. Like, here's the thing. Even if I could profit from these videos, even if I could actually make a living on my Zelda parodies, which they don't get enough views to actually sustain a reasonable income, I'd still have to, I'd still need an actual job if I wanted to be self-sufficient. A few thousand views is not going to get me that is not going to bring in that much money. Yeah, I guess I wouldn't feel right doing it. And I'm not trying to sound like, people who do this, or I'm not trying to say, like, if someone would do this, they're jackasses or something. That's not, it's just, to me, it just seems like, given how much, material from other people I've used in my videos, it wouldn't be right to me. Like I said, even if I could legally do it, I wouldn't really feel comfortable, so yeah, not right now, but maybe in the future. Depends what I decide to work on later. The outtake at the end of episode 7. What was up with that? You mean the skit involving this little guy? This little guy right here? Scrubby, calm down. Look at the camera. You wanna look at the camera? Look at the camera. Aww. Okay, I'm gonna put him down. He doesn't like being held. He doesn't like being restricted. That was my dog, Scruffy. Yes, he's very adorable, but he's also really fucking loud. This is not the first time he has interrupted me. There have been numerous occasions where I've been recording lines and he just felt the need to bark at some fucking tree because that tree was gonna break into our house and fucking stab my family to death. So he's gotta protect us. It's funny because I got a lot of comments from people who are actually they felt bad for my dog. They were like, how could you treat your dog like that? And you guys don't understand. Scruffy doesn't give a shit about me yelling. You have to understand. You've seen my videos. I do yelling in them. There's lots of yell. There's lots of loud. He's used to me just screaming like a jackass into my microphone, so I guess, like, people have this idea of me walking over to my dog and him, like, cowering in the corner like, no, please, don't yell at me. Like, first of all, he doesn't even know what I'm saying to him, so he can't be offended. Second, he doesn't care that I'm yelling at him because he's so desensitized to me yelling like a jackass, he just doesn't care anymore. He literally just, like, his entire reaction, like, after I yelled at him was pretty much this. He just kind of looked at me like, okay. And then he left. That was it. That was the entirety of the exchange. So, no, I don't abuse my dog. He's fine. I wasn't even being fucking serious. He interrupted me and I'm like, shit, I'm gonna play this up for laughs. And it made for a very funny outtake. So, guys, don't take it too fucking seriously. He doesn't care. I was exaggerating. It's cool. Have you ever considered making a podcast involving you, tauberpa, and the Big T2000? That would be fun. I don't know how we'd organize it, though. Again, it sounds like a fun idea, but I guess the closest thing I've ever done to a podcast would be, like, the Talks a Lot videos. Again, I'd like to do something like that, but our schedules, like me, tauberpa, and T have very different schedules. Tauberpa has 2 jobs. I got college to deal with, and the Big T, I don't know what he does, but I know that he's living on his own, so he's obviously, he has some kind of employment. So we all have very different schedules. I think he works at a supermarket? No, it wasn't. I don't fucking know. That's not important. The point is, we have very different schedules. They don't always mesh. They don't always sync up. So to organize this as a regular thing would be kind of difficult. I don't know if we'd. I guess it would just be organizing it that would be difficult. It's the same reason why tauberpa and I haven't done a movie night recently, or we haven't posted a tauberpa and Xanauzumaki thing. It's the same thing. I don't know why I said or. Those are both the same things. Tauberpa and Xanauzumaki and a movie night. But there's a reason we haven't done that recently, and it's because we don't always our schedules just don't sync up, so we haven't really had time to just set aside up to 2 hours to just talk about a movie, and usually it's not just 2 hours either. It's because the talks, because like the last 2 Talks a Lot videos came before that, because it was all stuff we were saying before the movie started. Because so our Skype calls lasted for roughly 4 hours in length. That's a lot. So I'd like to, but that's difficult to organize, so probably not. Who knows? Who knows what the future shall hold? Next question. Can you please reduce your usage of the F-bomb? Alright, I understand. I guess I understand where you're coming from. I have used the word fuck a lot in some of my recent videos, more so than I used to. So I can understand, like, maybe if you're the kind of person who's easily offended by, vulgarity or language or stuff like that, then yeah, I could see how you might be a little bit put off by that. And I understand. Well, I don't understand how you feel, because I'm not really, I don't really care too much about, I guess, language to the same degree that, or like inappropriate words to the same degree that you do, but I respect if you don't want to watch my videos because of that, and that's fine. The problem with that is I'm not going to change the videos I make I'm not going to like change the videos I make simply because a few people are offended that I used the word fuck. I do want you to understand, I'm not trying to curse just because, cursing is cool. I only do it because I feel it's appropriate. Like, not appropriate in the sense that some things are always appropriate and some things are always inappropriate or stuff like that, not in a black and white sense, but I mean appropriate to the situation. Like, let me put it this way. Link is a douchebag who doesn't care about anybody. He's a sociopath, he's a monster, he's a terrible human being. He wouldn't censor himself, so why should I? Why would I censor Link? Why would I do that? It doesn't make any sense, because he wouldn't be like, oh, fuck, oh, sorry, I mean, poopy, like, he wouldn't, as for cutting back on cursing, or as cutting back on, like, use of the F word, the next episode, if you're hoping for that in episode 8, like, yeah, I could cut back a little bit, I do agree, maybe I've been too heavy on the word, but if episode 8's already like 80% written, and there's only going to be a lot of F-bombs in that one. Link gets pretty mad in that episode, so you're going to hear some fuck. You're going to hear lots of fuck. Maybe the finale won't have as much. It depends on the situation, really, so... again, I respect where you're coming from. I'm not going to be like, you fucking idiot, can't handle language. I'm not going to, I understand if you're not very comfortable with my videos anymore, but yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not going to change what I'm doing just because you're a little bit uncomfortable with that. I don't mean this to be dismissive. I just want you to understand. So sorry. If the majority of people start complaining about that, then yes, I'll cut back. But if a few people are just like, it's like that's offensive to me, then sorry. I apologize. I'm not going to do anything about that. But I'll try not to be gratuitous. I'll try not to be gratuitous about it. Of all the characters you've created, which one is the most difficult to write or voice? Pretty much any character that only appears once in an episode. Like, for example, the nipple guy from episode 5, the man of many interests from episode 6, Evan, characters like that. Those are always the hardest to write for, because, like, I gotta come up with this new character out of fucking nowhere. It's very easy to just impulsively say... it's very easy to just impulsively give them absolutely no personality, and I've done that several times, so understand, I'm not saying that every time I introduce a new character, I put a lot of work into them. No, sometimes I've just thrown in characters, and done nothing with them, like, just out of laziness. Like, I thought I could have done a lot more with Evan, the band leader, in, like, episode 6. I thought he was very boring. Like, I wanted to make him, like, an arrogant, like, douchebag who only plays music to get laid. And, I didn't really play that up enough, or I didn't do enough with it. He just sort of... The voice was kind of boring too. It was like, I sound like this! It didn't even sound like he had much of a personality. So, yeah. But, every once in a while I'll get a character like the man of many interests. It's like, I can help you out. Do you consider my penis an instrument? Like, he's just a weirdo. Yes. I am an avid collector of seahorses, another one of my many interests. or just, oh yeah, the nipple guy, who people thought that was like a Christopher Walken impression, but it totally wasn't. I was just coming up with a weird voice, but, so that was not Christopher Walken, by the way. It was not. As for, now, if you're talking about, like, main characters, I guess the Mask Salesman was hard to voice, kind of. The Mask Salesman was a little bit difficult at first, but I guess I could say that about any character. Like, when I'm voicing any character for the first time, you know, and I don't really know what I'm doing with them, it's really easy to just, what am I trying to say? You do eventually grow into a voice, so I can't say that, like, there's any reoccurring characters that are hard to voice, because the fact that they're reoccurring means that I'm not going to have much trouble voicing them in the future. I guess did I answer the question? I think I did. Next question! Whatever happened to Shad? What about Shad? He's fine. He's happy. He's living his life. He's doing whatever it is Shad does. Probably masturbate. I don't know. If you're asking, like, why is he not in the episodes anymore? Because I have no more jokes for him. That's about it. I mean, really, you know, he was kind of like Mayor Beau in the sense that he just kind of had one joke, and the joke is, it's like, I am a lonely virgin. And, you know, he had a good run, but the joke got old, and I don't have any more material for him. So, yep, I'm glad people like him and want to see him again, but yeah, he is no longer gonna be in my videos. No more jokes. If I had some, I'd bring him back in, but sorry, nothing. Was Link's exposition about Tattle being One Note planned before she became One Note, or as a way to deal with it after she became One Note? The second one. It was, I don't really plan that far ahead, so it wasn't something I had planned. Yes, it was a reaction to how One Note she had become, and how, you know, her character had pretty much been reduced to just reacting to whatever Link says. Just being the moral, react, you know, it's like, Link does something horrible and she's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you do that! You know, it's like, what? Oh. And that was more that was my fault. That was my fault, obviously. It was more of a rant about me than it was about, you know, obviously, she didn't do anything. She's a fucking character I made up, so, you know, she didn't, so, I was just disappointed, because when I started out, I did really try early on to make Tattle interesting. I wanted to make her, somewhat interesting. I didn't, you know, I couldn't just use the personality she had in the game, because in the game, Tattle was kind of, you know, douchey and sort of sarcastic and, you know, kind of a bitch, really. But a bitch with a heart of gold, and she comes around and sort of, you know, the Link and Tattle grow to like each other. And, but I couldn't really make her a bitch because Link was already, you know, kind of a horrible human being, so, you know, I tried to give her personality traits that kind of fit the situation she was in, but, you know, also, you know, would contrast nicely with, you know, Link's assholishness. So, you know, I tried to give her, like, you know, this enthusiasm for this thirst for adventure and excitement that would kind of get on Link's nerves, and, you know, they argue with each other, and it would be wonderful. And yeah, I guess I just didn't really make good use of that. I'm not like ashamed of the episodes I've made with her or anything. I don't hate the episodes that came out of it. I still think, you know, my Majora's Mask series is better than, you know, my Ocarina of Time series in terms of writing by a long shot, but I don't, yeah, I could have done a lot more with her. It was just a missed opportunity. At least that's what it feels like. And, you know, so I decided to write it into the episode. I think the scene went on way too long, though. I do think, like, the rant probably went on much longer than it should, but I guess I wanted to get that out of my system. You know, rather than bitch about it in a commentary or something, I decided to work that into an episode. So, I want to do more with her, and hopefully episodes... And the next episode and the episode after that, maybe I'll be able to make use of her. I don't know what I'm doing yet. I mean, I have most of episode 8 planned out already, but I don't, you know... I'll see. I'll see what happens with her. I hope things work out better. Will there be more sensitive Keith songs? I don't know. Maybe. I'd like there to be. I don't have any ideas, but if I get one, sure. Okay. Ever thought of collaborating with tauberpa? Yes, many times. Why have I not collaborated with tauberpa? And I know I've given him a cameo and stuff, But like in terms of doing an actual series with him, I've wanted to do this. We've actually tried on several occasions to make a video together, and every single time we failed miserably to actually come to a consensus on what we want to do. Like, it's not so much coming up with jokes as it is actually picking something to parody. Because other than MLP and Zelda, I can't think of really anything else we both like. Like when it came down to like picking an anime or a game or something, we didn't really know what to do with that. He'd suggest a show, an anime we could do, and I'm like, I've never heard of it, and he's like, shit. And then I'd suggest something, and he's like, what's that? And I'm like, damn it. So we couldn't agree on anything. We'd like to, and if we come up with something, sure, but yeah, so far, no luck with that. Which character that you voice in your videos best reflects your personality? Best reflects my personality. I guess here's the thing. I don't really see myself as that interesting a person, so I don't really make any characters based on me. Now, I guess like maybe there are, I guess like there are some of my characters. I guess some of my characters do have like traits that might, like I guess maybe some of my personal traits are like reflected through them or something, but that would be more of a subconscious thing and not really something I, consciously decided. I don't really have a self-insert character. I don't know. If I were to make like who's the most like me, if I were to say off the top of my head, I guess Tattle, maybe. Kind of unstable, but not, kind of weird and crazy, but still for the most part grounded in reality. I'm not suicidal or anything, so that might have given off the wrong impression. So no, I'm not suicidal, but I guess she's the most like me, but even so. And then look what happened to her after the first 3 episodes ended. Look what happened afterwards in episodes like 4, 5, and 6. Then she just became boring. So what does that say about me as a person? But yeah, I don't go out of my way to have a character reflect my personality, and I don't think I think about my characters that deeply to try to do something like that, but so yeah, there's my answer. None of them, but maybe none of them to my knowledge, but maybe like subconsciously I've done it. Maybe Shad is saying something about me. Maybe Merbo is saying something about me. Oh shit. What is your favorite joke in your series? You ever done a lady with Parkinson's? They don't call me the rocking chair for nothing. But yeah, I went back, I watched that, I kind of forgotten I'd written the joke, and it came to the joke, I'm like, oh my god, that's horrible. That made me laugh. And then the last question, in this category, what are you doing after Majora's Mask? I guess I got kind of a cop-out response. I don't know. I don't have an answer, I'm sorry. I wish I could tell you, I wish I could say like, yeah, no, after this I'm gonna tackle this game, and this game, and this game, and I don't have an answer. I guess because I don't really plan ahead that much. I just sort of do these videos like on impulse. Like I guess I'll accumulate enough ideas over time to put together an episode, and then I'm like, oh, that's a good idea, and then I make it, and then I make a video. I don't really have my series planned out. I mean, I plan out videos. Like I have most of episode 8 written already. Like 80% of it, pulled that statistic out of my ass, but I mean, like, I have most of that planned out, but yeah, I don't really see things through. I don't really know what I want to do afterwards. I guess I'm just gonna have to say wait and see, so I'm sorry if that's a disappointing answer. But if I get any idea, I guess I'll let you know when the time comes. When Majora's Mask is over, I'll make some kind of announcement video explaining what I'm doing next. So, if I'm doing something next, hopefully, yes, I don't plan on giving up on my, on YouTube entirely, but, I don't know, maybe I want to move on to something besides Zelda bridging, maybe not, maybe I'll find that there's still plenty to make fun of. Who knows? But that's it. Alright, that is the end of this video, and the next video I'm going to answer questions, I guess personal questions. I don't mean, haha, how is your sex life, or stuff, I mean, like, questions asking me specific questions about, like personality test questions, like, what's your favorite color? If you were an ice cream cone, what flavor would you be? Or crap like that. So, alright, that's the end of this video. I hope this helped. Please tell me if I was boring. I'll try to be more interesting next time. I think I rambled too much in an unfunny way. So, see you guys in part 2.